All right, ready? Yo, what is good, No Fear fans? Man, back at y'all with another review episode. If you are a new viewer, I want to take this time to say, please hit that like, comment, subscribe, share. I would really appreciate it. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I have for y'all today is a review on a recent show I've been watching for, for some years now, called The Bear. Oh man, I've been a big fan of this show. Someone very close to me showed me this show for the first time. I was not really, kind of tuned into it at first, but then I seen the first season. Man, this show was crazy good. As some of y'all know, as of recently, season 4 just ended. So I recently watched season 4, about a couple weeks ago. And I gotta say, this season has some really great moments, just as much as some really low and kind of disappointing moments for me. I gotta say, I want to first start off by saying the intensity of the show was very, very good. The acting, as usual. Carmen and Richard, their beef with each other, was very, very catching to the eye. I was, really tuned into them. This season kind of pretty much, started off was pretty much all the way based on them just trying to get out of a hole of the uncle that has been, pretty much Uncle Jimmy, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, Uncle Jimmy. Uncle Jimmy was, pretty much, loan them money to, get the restaurant and stuff started and, seeing where it goes. And, I got to give a special shout out to Uncle Jimmy, man, because he, pretty much he downsized his house and everything to, he sacrificed a lot to help Carmen with his restaurant, and this season is Carmen really, just really trying to elevate even more and, dig him and, everybody up under him out of a hole and trying to, pretty much get, earn back that money and then some and, get the restaurant, where they want it to be, because a lot of people know, owning a restaurant is not easy, especially the ideas and, the big ideas that Carmen has for his restaurant. He had big plans and big ideas and changing, the menu a lot and stuff like that. He wanted a 5-star restaurant and that's not easy to do. So that's pretty much what this season is kind of, pretty much touching base on. There's a lot of other things that, I'm going to talk about and, get into, but that's just to sum up, kind of what season 4 is pretty much touching base on. Carmen just trying to get himself out of a hole and, pay his uncle back and, just elevate his restaurant even more to, what he's been trying to do. So, you got anything you want to add to that?
Like you mentioned off camera, there was like different characters for the episodes.
Yeah.
I could really feel it,
Mm-hmm. The feeling of some of the episodes were different.
Set the tone, yeah. It's mainly their jobs to set the tone for each episode, and it felt, I don't know, too noticeable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, season 4, like I said, before before I jump right into the details, spoiler review, obviously. Yeah, it has a lot of different, feelings and stuff like that to it. A lot of ups and downs in this season. I am going to start off by saying this is probably the worst season. Like I ain't gonna say the worst. Let me rephrase. I'm gonna say my least favorite season out of season 1, season 2, and season 3. Like out of all 4 seasons, season 4 is my least favorite, in my opinion.
Season 3 was so cool.
Season 3 was good.
It was like gaining momentum.
Yeah.
A bit.
Wait, season two, was that when Marcus, when he sends everybody off like to go like learn on their own? Where Marcus and everybody, that's like where he went to where did he go? Amsterdam or something?
Yes.
That's season two.
Yeah.
I like season two. It might be out of season one or season two. Like as my favorite for me. But we can get in that in the end.
Oh yes.
In the end, we'll talk about our favorite seasons in the end of this video. Where do I pretty much to start this off? I'm gonna start off with my positives. So I gotta say my favorite thing about this season, ladies and gentlemen, if you've seen the Bear, you've been watching it. My favorite thing about this is Marcus winning the award for what is it, like most notable chef or something like that? What did Marcus win?
Upcoming chef.
Upcoming chef. That was my favorite moment.
Yeah.
That was like, man, it was surprising. I thought Sydney was going to get it, because she ran the restaurant when he was stuck in the freezer in last season and stuff like that. And they finally made an article about, her just, I don't know, because Sydney's great as well. She's a great chef as well. I think she has the, ability to run her own eventually. But yeah, my favorite moment was Marcus winning, the upcoming like chef award. That was my favorite moment because I think he really deserved that. And Marcus, like he's been grinding quietly but loudly at the same time throughout this whole show on how great he is at making desserts and stuff. He went to a different country and learned, different, he gained his arsenal really, and him being a chef just really went up from season one. And where he's at like now, man, I think Marcus, him elevating like so high like that, I think it was just really well deserved. So, but yeah, I don't know what you think, but yeah, Marcus winning that, like, yeah, that was just really, it made me feel good. Like he really deserved it.
Yeah, I agree.
Also, my second favorite moment, what's Carmen's mom's name? Donna?
Yeah.
Sorry, No Fear fans. I got the whole cast like right here, but it's a lot. Plus the directors and everybody. I'm trying to look for her, like what was her name in the show. Donna, Carmen's mother's name. My second favorite moment of this show was Carmen and his mom. Them finally like just talking it out and her expressing, that she's been missing her family and stuff like that. And her, finally just getting to talk with him and apologizing, about, the crazy stuff she's done in the past. Because if you've been watching, season two, you see, how hectic and how intense the family, gatherings could be. And Donna, she could really, get on, like her getting on level 10 can happen with the snap of a finger, and her level 10 is not any other normal person's level 10. It's crazy intense, but them two having that moment was very, very, important. And I thought it was never going to happen. I thought Carmen and everybody was just going to, pretty much forget about her, which I think would be a little unfair in my opinion. I think, she's done some crazy stuff, but, I think completely ignoring her, like pretty much for that long, it's like, y'all know she has some type of, like, y'all know she has issues, like leaving her like that, like just out to dry like that. I don't think it was the right move. And them finally just talking it out, that's got to be my second just favorite moment of this season. And that was very touching to me, and I was happy that happened. I didn't see that coming, but I'm happy it happened. So that was very good, and I loved it about that. Lastly, my third favorite moment, or I probably got a couple more, but Richard, when he finally, he's been like stressing throughout this whole like kind of season on, his baby mother getting married and stuff like that, and the whole pretty much from a lot through this season, he's tripped before the wedding and stuff like that, happens or stuff like that. He's pretty much built like his intensity of just being nervous and wondering what's going to happen with going to this wedding, if he should go to it and stuff like that, is just really, just messing with him. And like when it finally him and the baby mother's, fiance finally, they meet and they have a conversation, and they're talking about the daughter. They're all trying to get the daughter from under the table and stuff like that. That moment was pretty good. Like, it felt pretty good to me, and I thought it was well needed. And because he was tripping, he was just really tripping about it. It's like, bro, calm down. And hey, the moment happened and it didn't go bad. How he was making it seem like it was going to be, because he was really tripping about it, like having damn near panic attacks. And it's like, bro, chill out, but that's gotta be my third probably favorite maybe moment. There's like I said, there's a few other ones. Also, I do gotta say, Tina, I think her elevate, like her how she elevated as well with her timing and trying to get a lot of stuff done. I thought that was very good too. Like, cause I think it was like under 3 minutes or something like that. She had to get that dish done. Yep. And like before, it was taking her like 5.5 minutes, 6 minutes, and she's really like fighting, trying to get this like done in under 3 minutes. Get this dish done. Like, you got to get this done under 3 minutes, And you see her fail multiple times. She's failing and failing and failing, but she's also improving. And every time she fails, like, she's pretty much improving, whether it's by a second or by and she finally, it finally happens, and I felt good about that. I think Tina, man, she has been through a lot, outside of the kitchen, and coming to work and still, working hard and wanting to be better. I think I like Tina. She's really good, hardworking. But yeah, Marcus is probably my favorite. No, Carmen is probably my favorite. Then Marcus. Then probably Tina. I like Uncle Jimmy too. Uncle Jimmy, I think he's a cool dude. Like, he's a dude that's like willing to take sacrifices, even if it, if he believes in it, it believes in you. You have a good game plan at least, and he's gonna want to help you out. So, those are probably some of my favorite moments of this season, I gotta say. Yeah. What about you? What's your got any favorite moments?
I'd say a couple of my favorite moments so far, of the show would have to be Sydney with her dad. And her trying to make the decision of, like, what do I really want? Do I want to stay with Carmi and the restaurant because, it's like my people, and like, yeah.
I like that too.
Yeah, and she was dealing with that, and then her dad, like, he had a heart attack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was freaking out, and then I know we don't like Claire. Okay.
Well, I don't like Claire. I don't know how you feel, but yeah.
I think she's okay. I think she brings the basic element for like a mass audience to relate to. No offense.
Yeah.
Same with the relationship dynamic between her and Carmi. It's very basic, so it's easy to, pander, and for others to reflect themselves in those two positions of that couple dynamic, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So playing it safe, no offense, but it's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Her as a character, very one-dimensional, very flat, surface level. Not my thing. But what I did like was a scene of her and Sydney in the hospital where her dad was at.
She comforted her, yeah.
She comforted her, and she told her it's a good thing to worry about the people we love and for them to worry about us. Because Sydney was like, I don't want to worry about my dad, and I hate that my dad worries about me. And then she was like, oh, no, it's just another way of expressing love. And that impacted me so much that just yesterday I was on the phone with my mom. Long story short, I told her that, and I was like, you know what? I'm not mad anymore that I worry, and I'm not mad anymore that you guys worry for me. I'm just, now I realize, like, I mean, I knew it, but now it's, like, impacted me enough to internally change it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, just breathe. It's fine that we have worry because it's care.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so I really liked that scene. Long story short, next scene I really liked was when Sydney in that episode went over to her cousin's house.
Oh yeah.
See her niece or.
It was like her little cousin, I think, or something like that.
No, it was her cousin that was Brady. So that's like her third cousin.
Yeah.
Technically, but I would say niece. I don't know.
It felt like an auntie and niece type of
they
moment.
like hung out and stuff like the whole time, and she was able to help her, the little girl, get out of her shell and stuff, and figure out what she wanted to do with, you know, if she wanted to reach out to her friends again.
The sleepover.
Should have just stayed reserved.
I liked it that, yeah.
And, you know, chose not to reach out to them because it's like they were both teaching each other, like, you know, to be open to the people that you know already, and then be open to like new experiences.
I like the metaphor she gave to the little cousin, and then the little cousin figured it out, and she was like, you know, she knew what she was talking about.
With the pizza, and
yeah,
you know, or go to the new house where you have no idea what's going on, and like etc. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
And she knew what she was talking about the whole time.
Yeah,
like she came to her and said, you know.
That was such a good episode. I love that episode. And then final favorite would be obviously what you say, Carmi and Donna, where they're just talking, and then he cooks for her.
He cooked for her.
And it's been a minute. I mean, I don't really know, but I can tell it's been a minute.
Or did she cook for him?
He cooked for her.
Okay, yeah.
She wanted to cook for him because she always cooks for him.
Yeah.
He said, I will take care of you, basically.
Yeah, because she...
I can't give word for word on anything. I can't give you a play-by-play at this moment, but from the vibes that I remember, that I connected with, it was sweet. It was very sweet. It was cathartic. A lot of other reviewers and me felt like, oh wow, we can all connect to having mom figures.
Yes.
Donna. And ironically enough, my mom's name is Donna. Hi, Mom.
Shout out, Mom.
She reminds me of the Donna in the show a bit. Not like she's crazy, but...
Yeah. I ain't never seen no mom like that. Nah.
But I love that. I love that episode. It was amazing, and I felt like it was necessary for Carmi. And I got more to say about that for Carmi's progression for the next season. I'll save that for later.
Yeah.
In this. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Those are some great moments. Yeah. I forgot about the Sydney moment, and you know the little cousin and the. Go ahead.
In the scene, I want to say it's my favorite, so I know it's like off topic, but you know the scene with the episode with Abraham? Yeah, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Abraham. And that business guy, this investor, businessman, he was talking about like he wants to be more integral to the business, for the beef.
Oh yeah.
He wanted to expand. He wanted to be more important because he has the capabilities. He is the capability himself because of how he hustled and how he was able to just think on his own.
I like Abraham.
Yeah, like that was cool, and that's making me super, super excited after the business guy in the last episode talked to.
He was learning how to do paperwork and everything. Yeah. Abraham, he's evolved too. Like he wants to evolve. I like that.
And the uncle on the computer, they both agreed to the business guy. Like that's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Wow. Yeah. Those are some great moments. Like I said, y'all, they're in The Bear. If you haven't watched, there's a lot of lovable characters in this show. I ain't gonna lie, in every series I watch, there's always that at least one or two characters I just hate. It's like seeing this person's
sugar.
Just gets on my
Claire.
Yes, those
Like white girls.
No, that's not what it is. That's not what it is. That's not what it is. they're
My girl comes on screen.
No.
I don't like her face. That's what
no,
he says.
that's not what it is.
Audience, that's what he says.
That's not what it is.
Comes on screen and she's white.
That's not what it is. Well, what's the other? Yeah, no. Damn. Okay, in this show, I got no case for that. I can't argue against that. You got me on. But in other shows, that's not true. It's just, I don't know. The cast for those two was just off for me. But okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, please hit that like, comment, subscribe, share. I would really appreciate it. Now, y'all, let's get to the negatives, okay, that I just kind of don't really like about this series overall, right? So I'm gonna just start from the beginning a little bit. I ain't gonna go too long about this. You know, I ain't gonna hold y'all too long about this. So, you know, y'all, if you haven't seen this, Carmen, he's the main chef in this show. He's a really hard working, you know, guy. He's really passionate in his craft. And I'm not gonna lie, throughout this whole series, it's like there's always somebody challenging his authority, in my opinion. And I feel like it's holding him, it's held him back in a way. And starting with Richard, Richard has came up a lot. He's elevated a lot. He went to the other restaurant in season 2 or season 3 or season 2. And, you know, he learned how to, you know, be a server. Like, he learned how to watch out for things, learn how, you know, what customers want, learn, you know, what customers, you know, need, and learn how to scope for, you know, what's those people that come and test your restaurant and stuff like that. He learned how to, like, you know, see, and, you know, his IQ really just opened up really, really well. Like, he's elevated and through everything like that. You know, I like Richard overall, but and Sydney as well. Sydney was already a good chef when she first came and applied for the Bear, but, you know, I feel like she has kind of like I think she is, like you said, I feel like she's meant to run her own restaurant. I think when you have two people who have like in control mindset, it doesn't work.
And Carmen knew that. No spoilers for the last episode. Carmen knew that, just to say.
Well, I'm giving spoilers. I'm gonna give spoilers to the end on what happens. So if you're watching right now, you haven't seen it, you know, just click off this, but come back and watch this review, please. Don't you know, watch it and then come back. I think, but yeah, like I was saying, I think when you got two people that have a in control like mindset, like Sydney doesn't say I'm in control. It's like she knows who's in charge. But when you have two people like that with those type of like abilities and mindsets, it just doesn't work. You know, I don't think it works. I think Carmen needed people that were under him, that were really just like, you know, they're okay with, you know, him changing this up and that up, and they're really, you know, really not challenging his authority all the time.
They don't respect him.
Now, I think they respect him to a certain extent. Yeah. Like, they respect him and his craft and how hard and how good he is. They know how great he is as a chef. But
and even failed.
All his ideas he's ever came up with, it's like they kind of shot down.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, do y'all y'all don't see this man's vision for one. I get it. It's like, but for Sydney wise, I get it. It's like, Sydney, we know how great you are. You came up with that dish in season 1. It did well. Everybody was ordering it. Then next thing you know, the printer broke. That whole episode was crazy. It was great. That episode is really what got me tuned in season 1. Like episode, I think it was like 7.
No.
I'll figure it out. But yeah, it was like it was like towards the beginning. My bad. But I think, yeah, just Carmen and Sydney, I don't think, yeah. So, like, throughout this whole last season, I think when Sydney, you know, she was trying to just figure out, dude had a great restaurant for her. He was willing to give her the keys to this whole thing. You know, and I get it. It's a risky move. You don't know really what you're getting yourself into. You might be giving up something good, like 80-20 rule. You might be giving up, You might be giving up 80% and going for 20. You don't know.
20 look like 80 because she like.
But that's what I'm saying. You don't know though.
Yeah.
It looks like a 80%.
She got full creative control. She.
Yeah, he was willing to give her everything. Like she was going to be, she was going to run the kitchen. Like he was willing to give her the kitchen. Like, yo, you're going to run this. You're going to be the head chef. You're going to be in charge. You know, and I get why she was hesitant about it. But, and then her dad dying, that didn't do any help either with what happened in the end. Carmen, I think Carmen wanting to quit in the end, I think it was very understanding from my point of view. It was very understanding because it's like throughout this whole series, you know, like I said, Carmen is constantly running into these problems. You know, first it started off them just trying to build the sandwich place up. The sandwich place, it started off as a sandwich, you know, they're making sandwiches and stuff. Then him wanting to come in and elevate the restaurant and make it a real restaurant, somewhere where people come and eat, have a good time and stuff like that.
Richard
and
that because he felt like
at first Richard didn't like that
because he didn't. I mean, not until the last episode of this season.
Yeah, he
never knew that he showed up to his brother's. You know,
right?
And I was like, "Why are you showing up now? You're trying."
Bro, and I'm gonna get to the end. I'm gonna get to that ending scene. I'm gonna get to that. Oh wow, I think that was just, bro, what? But yeah, like I said, like throughout this whole series, Carmen has constantly ran into people just challenging his authority. Like they didn't let him lead shit. Like, yo, this is the head chef. Like, yo, y'all always. Yeah, and it's like I don't want to say it was a family thing with him and Richard. Like you can't let I don't think that's what it is. Like you can't let family, you know, into the bit. It's like some people think like that, but I don't think. Well, they call each other cousin and stuff like that, but you know, but they're really close to each other. But yeah, like letting someone like close to you like that into the business and stuff like that. I don't think that's what it was. It's just I think Carmen just needed a new team, like a different. Besides Tina and Marcus, I think, you know, those two were great where they are. They knew their role. They knew their place, etc. Like they would come up with good. Marcus came up with ideas and stuff with his desserts and stuff like that, but it was never in the way and challenging Carmen's ideas. That's what the problem, in my opinion, was. So fast forward to the end of season 4, I think Sydney going off on him like that, I think it was maybe a little bit of her like kind of grieving over. I don't know if it was her grieving over her dad. Like she did grieve to what's her name? What's Carmen's girl? Claire. She did grieve to her, but I feel like when she went off on Carmen like that, I feel like that was really her kind of grieving, kind of just taking it out on him. Using that as because I don't think that was like, bro, this man just gave you the restaurant and he said he wasn't going to leave until things were, you know, in place. Like he wasn't just going to leave right there and then just leave you, you know, just asked out like that. He wasn't going to do that. And I feel like her just going off on him like that, man, was very unnecessary. And I didn't like that. Like, come on. Like this man, I feel like Carmen, he kind of probably either, I don't know if he was serious, he really just wanted to quit in general, or he just wanted to he just needed time to just go and, you know, maybe find himself again. Carmen has had a lot of distractions throughout, you know, with him wanting to be great and run this restaurant. It takes up a lot of his time. You know, I feel like Claire was a distraction, in my opinion. Nice girl, but I think she was just a distraction. Everybody pressuring him about her. Richard last season, bro, you're going off on Carmen for, you know, okay, how Carmen did it. He didn't want it to be like that, being stuck in the freezer and shit like that. And then pretty much breaking up with her right there. I don't think he meant to do that, but everybody's just always just pressuring Carmen about something, always digging at him about something, always challenging his authority. And it's just it was understanding to me on why, he wanted to quit, whether it was temporarily or permanently, you know. And I think Sydney, him giving the keys to Sydney and everybody, I think Sydney should have, she should have thanked him and said, yo, go get yourself right. And, if you're willing to come back, we'll welcome you back. And, Richard and them, Richard is always, just going off about something. Like, I feel like he wants to find excuses to go off on somebody about something as well. I like Richard, don't get me wrong. He's a funny dude. He's a cool dude. He has his real cool moments, but him going off like that was very, in my opinion, just unnecessary. I thought that whole scene was just unnecessary. Great acting and everything like that, don't get me wrong, but just unnecessary. I didn't like that. So it was just kind of like a bad, I ain't lie, it was just kind of, it was just a bad ending for me. But yeah, lastly, I just think it was just unnecessary. And that's kind of how I feel about the end of season 4, y'all. comment if you disagree or if you agree. I don't, it doesn't matter. Cool. But I think, it's just, this man gave you a whole fucking restaurant. Yes, the restaurant is not doing, it's not doing great right now. But the man, Carmen, said he's not going to leave until the restaurant is in good hands. I don't get why going off on him like that. That's the only reason I could see her going off on him like that. Even though I don't agree with it. Whether you're going off on him, period, I don't agree with. But it felt like, she was just taking her deep inner frustrations out on him. And that's just my opinion on it. So, yeah. What you think?
I think okay, so what I think about Sydney like arguing with Carmi in the last episode in the finale, while you were talking, it was making me realize, like, oh crap, like, I mean, it's obvious, but throughout the whole series so far, when Carmi came back after, the learning how to cook and stuff, and, coming back to the restaurant after his brother's death, he was finally ready to see everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since the beginning, very first episode till now, and probably next season, he's been making everyone and everything uncomfortable. And I think that's a good thing. But it looks crazy to us, and everyone's acting crazy. Because, as we can see from season 1 to now, you see everyone's character arcs and plot developments. That's because of Carmi. I mean, it's also because of the individual. No shit. No duh.
Yeah.
It's like ever since he came in, and he's been headstrong on his, what he wants for himself, what he wants for the restaurant, what he wants, well, that's it. But, and just pursuing that, and people telling him, no, it's not going to work, I'm not going to do that, you can't do blah, 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 how dare you, you don't even talk to mom, you haven't talked to us, where were you with our brother, in the funeral, blah, 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 like, there's so much wrong with you, what the, all crazy. It's because he changed. He left, he wanted to be better, he wanted to pursue. He has a dream, he's executing it, and all that pressure each episode since season 1 to now, it's he's a good force.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. The criticism, the screaming, it's unnecessary, but if you...
Some of the times it was necessary.
Yeah, but the thing is that these characters, they can't... It's clear that they're not emotionally, mentally there to be able to provide that third perspective. on what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So, as us audiences that are the third perspective, clearly, we can make these assumptions and all these things. But why I believe that they're acting this way is because they're being challenged and they're comfortable. Like season 1, they're like, no, don't change anything. I'm tired of all these changes, you know, like with the Uber stuff and right, or like DoorDash or something.
Mm-hmm.
They hated that. Like him just coming back, they hated that because it was changed. It was different. It was like, oh, he's a fancy pants, and now look at them. They have a fancy restaurant. They're trying to expand the beef. It's because of Carmen. And I just really wish that, you know, I don't know. So I think that's why Sydney was upset. It's change. She's going to have to be the one to make a decision. She's being in the driver's seat. She's not passenger. She's not shotgun.
That's what she wants, though, low-key, though.
I know. You can want something, but be scared of the consequence, positive, negative. So that's what I believe possibly is what I'm getting from her character.
Mm-hmm.
Is that she's so used to being, like, partial on making the decisions and executing them alongside Carmen. Carmen being in the driver's seat, her riding shotgun. But now she's being placed in driver. And she's been doubting herself this whole time. But she's capable. She's proved to others, herself, and other people proved to her she is capable. She has the skills. People want her. But she's, you know, outside stressors, but mostly her internal stressors of shame, doubt, and all that stuff. Times and stuff, and it was like every episode we got flashback.
I kind of liked that, but yeah.
Well, we had a different director, Christopher Storr or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what his name is. For this season 4, and his main focus was familial turmoil and reconciliation, and yeah, but
I love the music.
Yes. The music was amazing. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Whoever did the music was so good. So good. I felt like it was good, but I didn't really like the wedding scene. I felt like it was so bland, weirdly enough. I feel like the cameos were not my thing. It didn't feel like the cameos in the past season 1, season 2. Mainly just season 2. Cameos. I didn't like that.
I love Chef Luca. That's the dude. He was Carmen. He trained with him when they were coming up.
Yeah,
I love Chef Luca.
People in the wedding. I just meant.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I was just talking about that. I like the cameos elsewhere because they added something. I feel like the wedding was just like, okay.
Yeah.
We get another attempting to recreate chaos again from iconic episodes that we've done prior. It was stupid. And it wasn't even good, in my opinion. I feel like it could have been more punchy, but like perfectly executed type of punchy, not just punchy for the sake of it, because that's fucking annoying. It's more annoying than bland episodes. I feel like the bland episodes this season were pretty good, way better than last season. Last season had its positives, so did this one. But yeah, I did not like that. No. I felt like the only progress we got objectively for the plot, outside of character arcs and developments, was...
I thought the plot of this season was good.
All we got was possible, expansion. That's it. Deadline hit, but Carmen might not be the head chef. That's it. I'm just saying, like... I
had no idea he was going to quit until that last, season, last episode.
So it's, realistic timeline, for realism, of course, but, I felt like, I don't know, there's, just a lot more going on with the other seasons and stuff, objectively. This was just more focused on I'm sorry and stuff. And that was good. It was good. Yeah.
Okay.
The music was so good.
Well, okay, so real quick, would you agree, season 4 would be your least favorite, or no?
No, season 3 is my least favorite.
Oh, okay. I kind of figured that a little bit, if I should say.
And then first season and then second season. Second season was my favorite. First season was my second favorite.
It's tough out of first and second season for me. It's tough.
Second is the best.
I might agree with you on that. One.
Jump, it just kept going and going, and it was so good.
I might agree.
It came and it was like, what do we do now, guys?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So yeah. Well, I agree with you on a lot of stuff. On a lot of what you said.
I like the ending of this one though, because it was like, okay, what's gonna happen? Expansion. Oh my God, Carmi, what? It felt good. It kind of felt good.
Yeah.
It's not typical of like TV shows to be like, okay, our main character, what they drive for, what their desire is, what their career is, bam, drop.
Yeah.
So it's exciting.
But well, yeah. So yeah. No Fear fans, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta say, yeah, season 4. It was a bumpy ride. It was a crazy, interesting ride. Also, I gotta say, Sydney pulling out that damn cigarette, that cancer state. It's like, bro. Like I said, I think that was another reference of her grieving for her dad. In a way, it's like there's no way you pulling out a cigarette because Carmen is quitting. No way.
I just told you, responsibility.
What I think is that this is what I saw. This is just what I feel and I saw. Everybody can have their own opinions or whatever, but me, what I saw was Sydney. Like I said, there was no. I don't think it was really the responsibility of it because Carmen had told her, yo, I'm not going to leave this restaurant until, it's back on its feet. It's on its feet on where it needs to be. Then I'm going to leave. That's when I'm going to leave. So I don't really see it being that. And I don't see it like she's always the one like not ever smoking cigarettes ever. So you mean to tell me this is the reason, like because you're afraid of responsibility of this, right? No way. I just don't see that. I just don't feel like that's a valid reason enough for her. It's like now you're starting to smoke over that. That's now your dad having a heart attack and stuff like that. And maybe yes. Now you're pissed off at the world, low key. You're pissed off. You missed a lot of time with him and stuff like that. Yes, I can see her deep down. Just deep down, she was just still pissed off about that. And now Carmen coming to me after that happening, telling me you want to quit. I felt like what I felt like, oh, this is my chance. This is her, for me, wise for her. This is my chance to take this shit out. Like, really take this shit out. That's what I felt. That's what I saw. And that's the only reason I could see it kind of being a little valid. But I feel like she just picked the wrong damn time. It's like, Sydney, really? Come on. But, that's just my opinion on it. But yeah, like I've said from the beginning, I feel like, Carmen, him wanting to quit was very valid. People just always nagging to him about some shit, man. It's just, he's coming in to work every day. There's always someone pressuring him about this, pressuring him about that. Carmen, I don't want to do this, or Carmen, I don't want to do that. Carmen, always just bashing or bitching at him about something. He never came into work really, and without having to, having a big dispute with somebody. Every day it was something, and I could just see that really just taking a toll on him. And that would make me want to fucking just, I don't know, move on or take a break and come back or whatever it is Carmen is going to do. Who knows if there's going to be another season or what's going to happen next season. So it looks like there probably is going to be another season.
And it was approved by the network that they're also going to have Carmi in the next season.
Okay,
that's a dub.
Well, I don't really see. My prediction for next season is what Carmen's being there, like helping them still with the restaurant, like coming up, or who knows, or they fast forward some and he's gone, or who knows, but yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I just feel for Carmen a lot. I do. That's really what I got from out of this whole series so far. Carmen, man, he works hard. He's elevated everybody, that's worked under him. Maybe besides Sydney. Sydney, like I said, she came in there great already. Pretty, you know. Marcus, he was good too. Like he got better. He's elevated everybody. I like Richard. Like I said, him and Carmen always going at it. But Richard, he elevated himself as well. Like he wanted to be great as well. Even though Carmen, sent him off. Hey, everybody needs to learn something. Everybody needs to, elevate, their arsenal. Everybody needs to get better. And, Richard eventually, he accepted that and he got better at it. And like I said, I don't know if Richard was always just being an asshole to him because, he's mad about him never going to the damn, or he never seen him at the funeral and shit like that. All these bickerings and big arguments could have all just been a deep down, just hate, like kind of, I'm mad at him for this. And I'm always just going to make his day hard. I'm just going to make Carmen's day hard. Now, I could kind of see that low key being a little, maybe a thing. I don't know. I'm just throwing shit out there, and that I just see that it could be this. But yeah, season 4, the acting was really great as usual. I loved the sound, the music, the color grading. Oh my god, I love the color grading on this show. It's always been great. Yeah, I'm real happy for Marcus, man. Him, getting noticed. I love that moment. Uncle Jimmy, man. Uncle Jimmy. If it wasn't for him, they would even never probably be where they're at without him. Making that big sacrifice. Yeah, Tina, man. I love Tina. She's very great. I like Sydney as well. Sydney, she's great. She's a great chef. I think she needs to go on her own and run her own kitchen. She has that opportunity now. Hopefully next season she'll wake up and realize, yo, this is an opportunity for me to prove myself. Like, I can do this. Hopefully, she does that. But season 4 was good. To me, y'all, it's just my least favorite. Yeah. Season 3 was pretty good to me as well. Even though I know you disagree. That's fine. That's fine. But man, I feel like season 3 ended off kind of confusing in a way. It's like, wait, what's gonna happen now? But I feel like that's better than a bad ending. I feel like a confusing ending is better than a bad ending. I feel like this one ended off bad. I would take a confusing ending over, a bad ending. At least I could, okay, maybe this is what's going to, after season 3, I was just confused. Damn, what the hell is going to happen next? Like, what they going to do? Yeah, that is my, review on season 4, ladies and gentlemen, of The Bear. You got any last remarks?
Go stream it. Get that free trial. Watch it.
Yes. If you have not seen The Bear, what she said, please go watch The Bear. The Bear is a great series. So yeah, check it out. It's a little bit of a slow start, a little bit, not too slow actually. Just wait till you get to episode 3, 4. You're gonna see some different shit. You're gonna see some crazy intense stuff. So, yeah, that's season 4. My season 4 review. Yeah, please hit that like, comment, subscribe, share. And I got more reviews coming for y'all. So please stay tuned for those. Love y'all, man. See y'all next time. Stay fearless. See y'all.